Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about the technical difficulties. I forgot to hit the unmute button, but we back though. You feel me? It's like a battle back of rants. But this is the fifth rant of Recency Bias Radio, where no one's safe from criticism. I am your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, all of the above on the ISAT test, ACT. You know what it is. And this episode is called the POC Pagonging. Why? Because it seems like once a person of color goes, it becomes just, I don't know, just prophecy for another person of color to go right after. It's like, well, you know what? Let's just get rid of all of them. Let's just do a purge. Like, that's exactly what's going on right now. Once again, I'm sorry about the fact that I was muted, but trust me, that did nothing but, you know what I'm saying, wet the whistle. Now I'm going to be able to really get into it now, because now I realize what I can just fluctuate within. So anyway, so let's rewind. All right. In the last rant, I told you guys specifically, I said Jess choked her game away by not saving Dom. People looked at me like I was crazy. They said, Dave, how can she choke her game away by not saving Dom? What does Dom do to help her game? Well, people had all of these excuses, right? And I told them, I said straight up, if she keeps Dom, that's an extra number to go after Paul, which means she's an enemy of her enemy. An enemy of your enemy is your friend every single time. That's how Big Brother is played. The same way they saved Christmas, the same reason why they should have saved Cody to go after Paul, which is the same reason why she should have learned from that mistake and saved Dom. But she didn't do it because the person of color isn't worth saving to most of these white people that get cast on this show. That's my point of view. Now, Battle Back happens. Good episode. I was spoiled for the most part on it because I was at work all Friday night, so I wasn't able to see it live. But it was interesting. Cody ends up coming back in the house. They did Dom bogus on her edit once again, making her seem like a crazy religious woman that just prays every 5 seconds. Even Cameron got a confessional, basically throwing shade at Dom. When Cameron gets a confessional talking about Dom's praying too much, you know that there's a problem here, okay? There's a problem. So they did everything they could to basically let us know early in the battle back that she had no chance of coming back. So to all you people that tell me race doesn't play a factor in this game, to all you suspected white supremacists, here's the question I want to ask to you. Now that Jess is HOH, and now that she's chosen not to target Paul, I have two questions. One, are you willing to admit now that production is influencing every HOH? And two, are you willing to admit that race does play a huge factor in this game? Because right after Dom goes home and doesn't get saved, Ramses and fucking Josh get put on the block. Two men that are of color. So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to look at it as a strictly coincidence that Jess takes the easy way out? Why is it the easy way out to target Josh and Ramses? Let's truly break this down. It's the easy way out because it offends the least amount of white people to target a whole bunch of people of color, which is why your race is a detriment in this game, which is why we need to equal the numbers of the cast to make it more fair. This is all the shit I've been saying since the first rant. Y'all dismiss me, call me a racist, but every week that goes by, I get proven correct. It's like I'm a fucking Miss Cleo or some shit. I foresaw this entire season, which is why I started off on that note to let y'all know the type of brother I am. I'm not gonna do no Ramses cooning. I'm not gonna do it. And I want to get into you fans. The same ones who said Dom wasn't worthy of saving just because she was religious. Why is Ramses all of a sudden worthy of being saved just to make sure another person of color, Josh, goes home? Why is that? That's interesting to me. All of a sudden, Ramses is worth being saved. And I tell you why you think Ramses is worth being saved. Because if she uses this veto on Ramses, then it will do nothing but back up and solidify and give clout to the reasoning behind not saving Dom. But if she chooses not to save Dom, and then she puts up two people with the expectation that Josh goes home, and the whole house makes her look like an idiot again, then all of you Jess fans are forced to admit she made a mistake by not saving Dom. You guys don't want to admit that part because y'all don't like Dom. Okay, so what y'all would rather happen is, oh, use the veto on the coon. We'll let this black person stay, but the one that's proud to be black, she can get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. That's racially based completely. So the one guy who's black that doesn't consider himself black is worthy of being saved by the same girl who shouldn't have saved the black girl before. You guys look like hypocrites right now. You're habitually line stepping all over again. Every week, you guys habitually line step. And I'm here to call you out on your bullshit, baby. I'm Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, Smith Dog Trill, all of the above on the ISAT test ACT. You know what it is. And I do this shit. And that's why y'all fucks with me, man. But anyway, so yeah, I find it very convenient that people like Evil Dick is out here talking about, oh, I really hope Jess saves Ramses. Even though we all know Evil Dick doesn't give a fuck about Ramses. He just doesn't want Paul to get his way again. Well, Paul wouldn't have gotten his way if she would have saved Dom, you fucking imbecile. Okay? But once again, the bias towards Dom and the need for wanting this entire scandal, controversy to get swept under the rug by all of these suspected white supremacists is why everyone was okay with letting Dom take the fall for it. But now all of a sudden, two people of color get nommed. Y'all didn't have a problem with that at the time because you guys really thought Josh would go home. And deep down, you don't care if a person of color really goes home. You just want the one that you don't like to go home, which makes it even more underlying racist. But y'all don't want to get in. Y'all don't want to get to this. Get to the fat. Y'all don't want to get to the meat, the protein. I'm here to do that. Okay? All of y'all motherfuckers is full of shit. All of y'all. And I'm here to call it out, man. Jess, you are the female Kaysar of Big Brother 19. You are the female Kaysar. When they talk about archetypes, we need to put Jess in the overly cautious, her strategy is being unstrategic. That's Jess's game. Oh, I'm going to make a whole bunch of decisions that's based off emotion, and I'm going to hold on to every single twist I have for a rainy day, expecting people to respect me if I don't put them on the block. Jess, they just sent your boyfriend home, and he just came back, and all of them are pissed off. Paul looked you in your face on the Friday night episode. When you realized Cody had a chance of coming back, he looked at you in your face in the kitchen and said, oh, you're energetic all of a sudden. Paul was telling it to your face that he didn't like the fact that you liked the fact that your boyfriend was coming back. And what do? You choose not to nominate him at all? If this don't sound like production's influence to y'all, then all of y'all are blind and deaf at this point. Come on now. Are y'all working for production to deny this shit at this point? Get the fuck out of here, okay? And Paul, he's the most egotistical, full of himself motherfucker in the world. If I was Jess, I would have clapped back at that motherfucker, and I would have said this. Oh, well, talking about my energetic has spiked up all of a sudden. Well, Paul, it seems like your energy has really plummeted ever since that was announced. I would have came back at him hard. The fuck? Like, Paul, who the hell do you think you are? So you mean to tell me a girl on the bottom doesn't have the right to be excited because a twist is coming that could create an ally for her? What? My whole thing from the beginning was if this would have happened and she would have used the temptation, then her and Dom could have went into a room somewhere and they could have came up with a strategy. And do you guys really think that Josh and Ramses would be the nominations if she would have saved Dom last week? That's where I'm getting to. If she would have saved Dom, she would have had someone from the inside of their alliance that knows how it works to give her information, the same information that right now she doesn't have, which is why she nominates Ramses as a pawn and doesn't know that pawn is going to go home if she doesn't use the veto. She needed Dom in this game to have an inside man, inside woman with some type of intel on how the true circle of that alliance is built. Josh isn't within it. He's an outsider. Josh is the equivalent to Kevin, but he's more of an attack dog that they send. Kevin is more so, he's more so a guy that just, he's a chameleon type player, but he still works with both sides. But Kevin is a floater. Josh is really a floater. Josh is just loud and he's ruined his game. But that's not a reason to get rid of the guy. That's a reason to drag him to the finals because he can't beat you. This is game 101. Pre-game, Jess was talking all this shit like she's some type of super fan of the game. I don't see it. Do y'all see it? How many seasons does she really watch? She says she used to watch this show with her dad. I'm not too sure I buy how many seasons she truly watched. It don't feel like it. Because if you truly watch this show with your dad would have put you on game on what's really going on. Okay? I'm not saying it's not true that she watched some seasons, but I guarantee you she didn't watch more than 6 seasons. You know, every season has a new lesson to teach you. It's a new strategy to counteract, you know, and each season that goes by, people are looking for that archetype. So the fact that she doesn't know what the hell she's doing and she thinks Josh is the target that will make this a successful HOH week. Newsflash, even if Josh would go home, you and Cody are still the #1 target of the house. Doesn't matter if Mark flips away from you, flips back to you. Neither one of those sequences matter because you're still the biggest threat in the house and you still got the temptation. And everyone in the house knows you have the temptation because Paul has all these motherfuckers wrapped around his finger. So they would have told him if they had the temptation. And you're so scared to nominate all these fucking blind followers, but you'd rather nominate Josh? Are you serious right now? And I get it. Josh is in a situation where he has to follow Paul. He doesn't have a choice. He has to give Paul his support because at the end of the day, he's burned bridges with everyone else except Paul. I get that. So I get why you think it's okay to target Josh, but you can't half-step this shit, okay? If you're going to nominate Josh, you got to put someone next to him from that side to guarantee they have to choose between their own people. Ramses isn't one of those people, okay? He isn't, okay? And that's what makes it so terrible because she could have nominated she could have nominated Paul this week. She could have put Raven right next to him. And even if Paul and I was debating with a girl who's a huge Jess fan about this strategy. She said, no, it's stupid because everyone will win the veto and take Paul off. And I said, no, it's not stupid because if Matt competes for the veto, he wants to save Raven over Paul. Okay. If Mark competes for veto, he's too worried that if he saves Paul, Elena will get put up. So you can threaten every single person that wins veto with putting up their closest ally. So they'll be forced to let Paul go to the wolves because no one's going to send Raven home over Paul. That would have been the ideal gameplay, which is why I'm telling y'all, please listen to me. Production is telling her not to target Raven or Paul. They're telling her to do it because if she's truly a fan of this game, she has to understand that you have to knock down the pillar and force the followers to flee, okay? The only way for the game to become balanced is for Paul to go home. They chose Paul to knock Cody from coming in the game again. And what do? You keep him safe another week? Like, what the fuck is going on? I saw Paul talking to Kevin on live feeds. Kevin said some shit to the point where, yeah, I was talking, I don't remember who he was talking to specifically, but he said he was talking to a girl about Paul's immunity being up. And then Paul immediately interrupted everything Kevin was saying and said, what would make you discuss my immunity being up? And then Kevin was like, oh, whoa, I'm happy that you're still here, buddy. I'm still happy you're still here. But she brought it up, not me. So Kevin completely folded under that pressure. He was so scared of the wrath of Paul. Paul's not even in power this week, and these motherfuckers are scared of him. He's not even immune this week, and these motherfuckers are still scared of him, you know? And none of these same people have the heart to run up to the HOH and tell Jess, please backdoor Paul. Everyone is a fucking pussy. Everybody's a pussy. Evil Dick just tweeted me. I don't got time for you, bro. I don't got time for you, bro. You clearly are biased towards Dom. For you to say, oh, well, this is a POV, not a temptation. It doesn't matter. It's the same philosophy. You can save someone who doesn't pose any threat to your game directly, but instead you choose not to, which indirectly helps the people who are directly against you. It's stupid gameplay. It's stupid. It would be like Evil Dick going out of his way to put Zach on the block when he dragged Zach to Final 3. It would be like him putting Zach on the block. It's like, okay, yeah, Evil Dick did that before, but at the end of the day, at the same time, it doesn't behoove you to risk it that way, okay? We've seen people like Dustin in Big Brother, yeah, that was BB-8. We've seen people like Dustin go home being a pawn. You feel me? Like being a pawn just to sit next to someone and be cool about it. Like I'm watching Big Brother All-Stars now. James risked a lot sitting next to Janelle. He ended up sitting next to Kaysar. If it wasn't for Chilltown's hatred of Kaysar, James would have went home because he was the bigger threat by far. The only reason why people say Kaysar is so strategic is because they don't want to really get down to the nitty gritty that they didn't like him because he was a person of color. The same thing is applying right now. Same thing applied for Dom. Same thing applies for Josh. Same thing. Well, Ramses, he's a fucking coon. I'm not even going to defend that motherfucker. But at the end of the day, though, these motherfuckers, Ramses, and I want to really get into Ramses. This is Stockholm Syndrome 101. The same guy who tried to use blackface to embarrass your black sister, your black queen. You choose, on your way to the DR as he's coming out, you choose to do a dance, essentially tap dancing, okay? You tap dance for Paul that night during a live eviction. Why are you so fucking happy to see Dom go home? And trust me, those dances aren't done on the fly. They're not improv. They thought about that shit. They planned it, which makes it even worse. Ramses is corroborating and cooperating with these suspected white supremacists to further drive that nail into the black woman's coffin. And as karma would have it, now your bitch ass is on the block and is about to get sent home because Jess is so much of a stupid player. See, Ramses, it doesn't pay to be a fucking coon. It doesn't pay to be a Sambo. It doesn't pay to be a double agent, okay? Be loyal to your people, because if you're not loyal to your people, the white folks ain't gonna respect you either, because they're gonna see it. Oh, he's willing to do someone with his own color that way. He'll definitely do us that way. Get rid of his bitch ass. And that's exactly what's happening in this week. And it's funny because I've been staying away from the feeds. I didn't even watch the Friday night episode until last night because I already knew what was going to happen. So I was not in any rush, shape, or form to check out any of this shit. But I knew what was going to go down. I'm not surprised by any of this. It seems like all of the people who wanted Dom to go home are the ones that are mainly shocked by Jess choking so much. Look, Jess needs the fucking Heimlich maneuver at this point. She's made so many chokes in succession in a row that there's no way she can qualify for an all-star slot. Cody got it locked up. Jess, it's over with. You had your chance. Now, if you think being the production's darling is going to get you to that point, hey, kudos to you. You know, but it's not going to work that way. I'm sorry. You are the Alex of this week. That's all you're doing. You're doing the exact same thing Alex did. You think you somehow are doing something to benefit your game. But in reality, during this double eviction, they're going to blindside you by keeping Josh. And then it's going to be up to Cody to win this HOH. They're probably going to make this HOH a questionnaire about past weeks in the house to make sure Cody can't win it because he missed the past week. Mm-hmm. Yep. See, I've been thinking about this a few steps ahead. They're going to probably try to rig it to make sure Cody can't win it, which will burn Jess's temptation automatically, and we'll probably leave the double eviction with no double eviction and just one eviction. And then we'll have to probably wait till the live feeds come up to see who's the new HOH to go through the week. That's exactly how it's most likely going to go down, because production does not want Jess and Cody. They like the showman's effect, but deep down in their heart of hearts, now that we've seen Jess play without Cody, they want to see Cody play without Jess. This is like Brendan and Rachel, okay? Remember, in Big Brother 12, Rachel, for the most part, in Big Brother 12, I believe Rachel went home before Brendan. I think so. And I think in Big Brother 13, Brendan went home before Rachel. Actually, I think Brendan went home twice before Rachel in Big Brother 13. Now, I could be wrong about that, but production has their way of trying to show the people the gameplay style of a showman's when one isn't with the other, and then when that other is without that one. They love doing that shit. So look forward to that shit. Mark my words. Jess is going to be the next to go before Cody, okay? Because Jess has choked so much and had so many opportunities not to, that people are just going to assume, you know what? We need to knock her out before she learns how to really play this fucking game. And that's what's going to happen to Jess. So I hate to say it to all of you Jess stands, but the person you rooting for, she's trash at this game. She's trash, okay? And as much as y'all want to act like her not saving Dom was the right play for her game, look at her nominations now. Was it the right play for her game? Since all of you want to be results-oriented anyway, was it the right play for her game? Do you guys honestly believe Dom staying in this house would have told her, hey, look, you should go ahead and put up Ramses and Josh? First off, she wouldn't have told her to put up Josh because she's cool with Josh. And Dom would have probably figured out a way to let her know, look, the stuff that happened between you, Cody, and Josh was all manipulated by Paul. See, Dom would have had the brains to be able to flip it on its head and show them and pull the screen back, pull the blinds back to show her the light. But she's so busy worried about who disrespected me. Okay, Christmas disrespected you too. You're not putting her up, you're putting Ramses up. So to some extent, these house guests, they're so scared of nominating certain people for how it will look by America. They're scared about how they'll be perceived. So they're not going to put up Raven. They're not going to put up Christmas. They're not going to put up Paul. So that's 3 people automatically out of the running. She could put up Alex because Alex just put her up, but she'd rather put up Ramses. You know, it's like all of the best decisions for her game she's chose not to do for the sake of just possibly being safe next week. I thought the whole purpose of being HOH is to get out someone who's coming for you. Josh, when is he gonna really win an HOH? Can we come to a realization here that Josh, it's best for Josh game to never win HOH anyway? You know, it's best for Josh to never show he can actually win a challenge. The minute Josh shows he can actually win a challenge is the point where Paul will even cut his ass. Okay, look. It doesn't behoove Josh. It doesn't behoove Kevin. It doesn't behoove Christmas. It really don't behoove none of these motherfuckers to win a challenge. And now I want to get to this HOH competition, which was completely rigged. There's somebody with like 20,000 followers out here trying to tell me to stop crying about Christmas being able to sit on a fucking scooter. How about you stop crying about me revealing the truth, you dumbass? Okay? For someone to be so full of themselves, to tell me that it's okay for Christmas to be able to lean on a scooter during an endurance comp that's based off balance and standing straight up is crazy to me. If that's the case, and this is what I said to her, this is how I really stumped this chick. She never replied back to me because she showed me her true colors early. See, I'm good. I really specialize in debating people. I used to be on the debate team. So when I come up with all of these takes, and I'm a podcaster, so when I come up with these takes, just know I come up with them with the premise of knowing what the easiest straw man's argument will be in response. So I already have my response ready for your response, okay? So the minute she came out of her body talking about, oh, stop crying, what are they supposed to do? And I said, well, she didn't perform in the last veto competition. She sat that out. So either give every single person in the game a scooter to make the competition completely fair down the middle, no parity, okay? Or you make sure Christmas sits her fucking ass out the competition. It's got to be one or the other. But production doesn't want Christmas sitting out because they want Christmas to win because that'll guarantee Paul is safe. See, they can dangle all of these future opportunities in front of all these HOH's heads to keep Paul safe, but that won't guarantee they do it. Okay? But if someone on Paul's direct side gets it, then they know they don't have to dangle shit. See? That's the con going on. Y'all need to really open up y'all third eye more, okay? Because there's a lot of gullibleness that's going on in this house. I don't know if that's a word. There's a lot of gullible people that's watching this game, okay? And also, I don't know what Chris's big problem with Mark is, but I tried to tell y'all. Christmas's love interest is Elena, her lesbian love interest. Mark is getting real close to Elena because Dom is gone. It's looking really creepy, by the way. Like he'll put her hand in her like little hoodie kangaroo pouch area, and then he'll like force a kiss on her. Chill, bro, chill. That you going down a slippery slope right now. But I never liked Mark. Keep it all the way 1,000. I always thought he was soft, beta male. You know, you can lift as much weights as you want, but if your mentality isn't an alphas, then that's just who you are. You know, you can't change your mentality. You know. Matt, he don't want to win the game. Kevin, he's Paul's bitch right now. Elena, I'm hearing information that all of a sudden Elena is with Mark, who's now with Jason, who's also with Jess and Cody again. I'm not allowing motherfuckers to flip on me, then flip back all of a sudden when it's convenient. No. Okay? They're full of shit. And that's why Christmas hates Mark now more than ever, because she's looking at Mark like, look at this fake ass motherfucker. You know, he was acting real nervous when Cody had the chance to get back in the house during the Friday night episode. Now, all of a sudden, he's his best friend when feeds come up. You know, I can't help but feel the same way Christmas does. Christmas Rousey does in a certain way. But at the same time, though, Christmas, let's just keep it all the way real. You shouldn't even be in this game. So you shouldn't even be complaining about anything. You shouldn't, you know. But all in all, man, I'm just really tired of the way that every HOH feels like a production's HOH. Like, what's the point of competing for HOH? I just don't see the point in it, you know? And that's why I told y'all Cody needed to come back, because when Cody wins HOH, he does what Cody wants, okay? When everyone else wins HOH, they do what production/Paul wants. I just wish Dom was in this game too. That's just what it is, man. You know, and people keep telling me, stop bringing up Dom. She's gone. No. I'm not going to stop bringing up Dom, okay? Because like I said, we live with the same pain that we saw our sister Dom go through in this game. We live through going to work and having to deal with all of those outside people, outside sources telling us constantly that we're overqualified, which is why we should be fired. I want to ask white people, have you ever been overqualified for a job and someone says you shouldn't be able to work there anymore? That happens to black people all the time. You know, have you ever became a target by your black manager because you were a black person underneath them that could speak better than them? So they looked at you as a threat because they want to be the only token Negro at that company. Have you ever dealt with that? Those type of things go happen to us all the time. Okay. And Ramses was getting those butter biscuits, okay, cooning it up because he wanted to be the token Negro on Paul's side, doing that little dance, looking like Crispy's biscuits, right? and look at what happened to you now, Ramses. Where did all of that tap dancing get you? It's going to get you out the fucking house on Thursday. So this has been the end of my 5th rant. I don't want this to go any much longer, but all in all, you guys are hypocrites if you think Dom wasn't worth saving, but you think Ramses is. Let's just keep it all the way real with it. Y'all had some type of a problem with Dom that y'all don't want to address because it will expose your suspected white supremacist ways. So instead, you'd rather act as if Ramses is somehow worthy just so Josh can go home instead. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Y'all don't want to admit Jess made the mistake. So the only way for her to cover up that mistake is for her to make sure her target goes home this week. Because if she has 2 mistakes back to back, they compound on each other and it proves people like me right. And now you have to see me talk that shit on Twitter. So please, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the POC Pagonging. I wouldn't be surprised if, after Ramsey goes, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Alex is targeted next. I wouldn't be shocked. It's going to probably be Alex, Christmas, Jess, or Cody. It's going to probably be one of those 4. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Also, follow me on Twitter at SmithDogTrill, and you can hear all this shit live. You can hear all the hot takes as soon as they come out, steaming of hot coal. But I truly appreciate it. We got 30. Damn, it's hella people in this motherfucker. Let's get this bitch lit every time we live from now on, man. Black Twitter, I got y'all back, man. You ain't got to worry about me abandoning you like Ramses. I'm going to always be here because I know what y'all go through. I know what I go through. So without further ado, this has been your host, Dave Smith, only Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. Y'all be smooth. The 6th rant is probably going to come later next week, after we find out who the HOH is and who they plan on targeting. But I appreciate you guys checking out the POC Pagonging with me, man. We need to really fight for these people of color to stay in this game because they are really trying to do these motherfuckers like BB15. And this season is low-key going to be known as BB15 Part 2 if we don't do something about it. And that's what makes it worse. The people who want Ramses to stay in this game, they don't have no problem with people of color getting targeted. They just don't want Paul to get his way, So they're okay with racism, but from a game's perspective, they're not okay with Paul, So people pick and choose when they want to be some social justice warrior. And that's the saddest part. But yeah, this has been the 5th rant, man. Y'all be smooth. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, man. Check out some Game of Thrones tonight. If you're gonna check out Big Brother, check that out tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good TV on now. You know, summers used to be trash back in the day for TV. Now it's popping. You know what I mean? So y'all be safe, man. Enjoy your work week coming up. And I will get back to you with the sixth one. Six God. Hey.